friend of mine named Tracy was actually directing that shoot. And Tracy says, action. And we take a step and Tony turns to the side and whispers in my ear, I hope you make it for more than a fucking season.
Can you please tell me the story about shooting a promo with Anthony Bourdain right when your bizarre food came out? You were doing a promo and you had a talk with Anthony about the integrity of TV. And I will let you take it from there and tell me what you've learned from that moment into what has now become a YouTube world, TikTok world, Substack world, podcast world. So let's talk about the integrity of TV in that moment.
Well, he said several things to me, but two of which I've discussed publicly because they're the most interesting. The rest of it was just random bullshit, and we were both sort of engaged in a little bit of a pissing contest at the time. We were acquaintances then; we weren't friends. But the occasion was, Travel Channel bought Tony's first show was for Food Network. Most people don't remember that. And he made a cook's tour with a production company that would become 0.0 for a season. It aired on Food Network. It was a dismal failure. Travel Channel, quote unquote, bought the show from their sister network and aired it on Travel Channel to see how it would do, while at the same time, Tony was shooting season 1 of No Reservations. I was about to head out and shoot season 1 of Bizarre Foods. And they knew that they were going to schedule them on the same night. They didn't know if they were going to move Tony to a new night and do it on a Tuesday and put other shows up on Monday that had already been on Travel Channel for a couple of years, things like World's Best Bathrooms and World's Best Beaches that were unhosted shows. They made the right decision. They kept Tony on Monday and they put my show before his, which was the reason when the director said we were supposed to walk down the promenade underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, and the director went, action. And we were supposed to walk and not talk, which both of us were talking. So it's just a bunch of lips flapping. It took us about 100 takes to just get us to walk and not talk. But literally, as the director said, action, a friend of mine named Tracy was actually directing that shoot. And Tracy says, action. And we take a step and Tony turns to the side and whispers in my ear, I hope you make it for more than a fucking season. That was the first thing that Fantastic. He said to me.
Thanks and for the confidence.
Then as the day was wearing on, we're getting to scripted parts. They were trying to wait for crowd control because they wanted some people, but not a lot. And, there's times where we're sort of holding in our ready position. And so we're on our first mark and there's someone standing next to us, a PA with the walkie-talkie. And the PA says to us, it's just going to be a couple of minutes. They got to straighten out something with one of the cameras. So we just kind of relaxed and sort of stood and faced each other and we were conversing. And I said something to him about so excited that, we had this opportunity together. We were going to make this great television. And that, I believed that, we had a lot of integrity. And I made what I thought was a joke, which was that between the two of us, we had enough integrity for one normal human being. And he looked at me without skipping a beat and he said, the minute you sign a contract to make television, you've lost every ounce of integrity you've ever earned in life. And I just sort of looked at him, and that's when the PA said, they're ready for you. And I can't even respond. The director goes, action. And we're supposed to walk down the promenade, and this time he was saying, hey, Monday nights on Travel Channel, I'm going to say bizarre foods and no reservations back to back. And then he's supposed to say something, and we just got caught up in the whole thing. But in the meanwhile, my whole mind is, swirling with the naivete of someone who thought that there was some integrity to be salvaged from being in television. Like so many things in life, I'm extremely proud of the work that I've done in television. I think a lot of it is important. I am really proud of the way I've showed up and continue to show up, making content of all types, television and otherwise. But Tony was right, especially back then. Because there's more competition for eyeballs across multiple platforms and different types of media, I think you can have a little bit more integrity these days and still have a career. Back then, less so. He was more right than wrong, and it wound up, being something that it was great for him. But trying to maintain some integrity was the reason he exited Travel Channel and moved to CNN, and that was a great move for him and great for the fans.